Hello, my name is Keith Thompson. I'm the evangelist working with the Armadale Church of Christ here in Western Australia. And we're making a series of videos as Bible studies. The series that we're in the middle of is a study through the book of Titus. Now, if this is the first time that you've been with us, welcome. And we encourage you to subscribe to our channel and come back. We make new videos every week. If you have been watching us for a while, welcome back, and we're so privileged and so proud to have you back. We're studying Titus Chapter 2 today, and we're going to be looking at the first few verses, and notice there that Paul gives instructions to the evangelist Titus about the behavior of all members of the Lord's church. Notice what we read as we start in Titus chapter 2 and verse 1. As for you, speak things that are fitting for sound doctrine. This is the instructions to the preacher. He needs to be speaking sound doctrine. That means good doctrine. It means fit, healthy, the doctrine that comes from God. This is what we must always teach. We don't teach our own opinions, but we teach the Word of God. Verse 2, older men are to be temperate, dignified, sensible, sound in faith, in love, in perseverance. Now, the idea of temperate is to be self-controlled. The older men of the congregation need to provide an example to all others. They need to be self-controlled, dignified, and sensible, sound in faith. This fits in just with what we studied in the previous verse, where we talked about the words that are fitting and sound in doctrine. The older women, verse 3. Older women likewise are to be reverent in their behavior, not malicious gossips, nor enslaved to much wine, teaching what is good, so that they may encourage younger women to love their husbands, to love their children. In the same way as the older men are to be examples to the church, so too are the older women. And they have a responsibility to be good leaders of the young women. Not only do they have to be reverent in their behavior and not malicious gossips, but they have to teach what is good, so that the young men may know how to behave, young women rather, how to behave. So we've looked at the older men, the younger men, now we're looking at the younger women. Verse 4 again. So that they may encourage the young women to love their husbands, to love their children, to be sensible, pure, workers at home, being subject to their own husbands, so that the word of God will not be dishonored. You know, we can see the importance of behavior here. If we don't follow these guidelines, we can very easily dishonor the Word of God and bring the church into a bad reputation. The younger women are taught to love their husbands, to love their children. This really is the main focus of the congregation, the family, working well together with a loving wife who loves and brings up her children to be sensible, to be pure, to be workers at home. There's a wonderful passage in Proverbs chapter 31 that talks about the righteous woman that perhaps we can study later. And to being subject to their own husbands. The husband is the head of the family. He's not a dictator, but he has the God-given authority there. And the wives have to respect their husbands. Now we look at the younger men. And Paul uses Titus as an example for how all young men ought to act. Likewise, urge young men to be sensible. Verse 7. In all things show yourself to be an example of good deeds, with purity in doctrine, dignified, sound in speech, which is beyond reproach, so that the opponent will be put to shame, having nothing bad to say about us. So we can see that Titus, as the example, is to be sensible. He is to be an example to the others in his good deeds. He has to have purity in doctrine. You know, this makes it very clear. We cannot add and we cannot take away from the doctrine that is found in the New Testament, but it has to be pure and undefiled doctrine, dignified, not being foolish as young men can be, but dignified, sound in speech. This goes back to sound doctrine that he had to teach in verse 1. It talks about the older men to be sound in faith. Now the young men are told to be sound in speech, which is beyond reproach, speech that is faultless. James tells us how important it is to control the tongue, so that the opponent will be put to shame, having nothing bad to say about us. The world has many evil and wicked things to say about the Lord's church. But as long as we continue on in these guidelines, bad things will be said, but they will be shown to be untrue as people observe our righteous behavior. Titus is filled with wonderful, positive, practical lessons for us. That's all the time we have for now, but join us next week, and Lord willing, we'll be studying Titus chapter 3. As always, if you have any questions, please put them in the comment sections below, and we'll get right back to you. I thank you for your attention, and goodbye for now.